no communication at all.
Yo, big up, big up.
Baba is wearing a gold white face AP and in another clip saw him wearing a turquoise face Daytona Rolex. About 200 grand in watches for someone who had to sell his house? Methinks Schaub'S.
Yes, I don't know, man. What do you guys think is going? Again, see, you're making me. I don't want to pocket watch again, but what do you think is going on, man? What do you think is going on? Like, what is going on? Please tell me. What do you think is going on? Let me scan through to the bedroom one. Look at all the Birkins. Do you think Asada's is right? Do you think all this is fake? Do you think all of this is fake? Actually, you know what I can do? Actually, let me do this. Is it possible to? Yeah, let's find out how much these bags are. I'm curious. Let's find out how much these bags are. I'm really. Maybe you're right, Asada. How much is that orange Birkin there? What is that? That's an orange one, right? How much is it? 32 grand or 10 grand, depending on what size it is, right? Hermes limited edition Birkin, 32 grand. Fucking hell. It's available on a place called Madison Avenue Couture, pre-owned for $16,000. 16,000. This bag that she has in her crib, just hanging out there. How about that pink one? Let's see that pink one. Let's see if you can find out how much that pink one is worth. Curious, man. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's all just Taobao shit, isn't it? Because what's the people in the stream chat? What's the grade of watches where it's fake but it's really good? I think they do Rolexes and they give you the box, they give you the papers. What's it called again? It's a name. And I think they said it for like hundreds instead of thousands. They said it for 100. What's it called again? What's it called? It's a certain level. They call it something. I forgot what level they call it. The pink one that she has there. The pink one. How much is that? Doesn't say how much the pink one is here, but that's probably worth a lot too, right? 27,000. No, it's not the same one, right? That looks a bit like 27,000. Holy shit! Fucking hell! 16k, 27k. Let's see another one. Is there another one over here? Oh, there's a classic pink one there. There's a white one there. I don't know. Let's see. How much is that? I want to see that purple. How much does that purple one go for? God damn. How are they affording this lifestyle? This little purple one, how much is that going for? 16 grand. It's a navy blue. The little navy blue one is 16k allegedly. 18,000. Thank God you can get it on ClearPay. Jesus Christ. What do you think? Is Asada's right? Is this all Taobao? That's already like nearly what, 40 grand in bags alone. Those 3 bags, it's already 40 grand there. Actually, I want to see clone APs. Yo, big up.
Slow Joe wouldn't know the difference in fakes.
Yeah, true. She probably wouldn't actually. She probably had no idea. I want to see clone fakes AP. Okay, it's from 6 months ago. Okay, let's see this one. From 6 months ago, clone AP watches. Let's see what this looks like.
Right here in front of you, a super clone replica of a $50,000 icon. And unless you know exactly what to look for, you will not be able to tell it apart from a real one. So welcome guys to another deep dive on a scary super clone, and more important, on how to spot the differences. Now, I wasn't looking for trouble, but sometimes trouble finds you. And one night I was browsing the web, doing what I always do when a watch itch hits me, and I know the replica market is full of scams,
I'm not the biggest, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of watches. I wear a fucking G-Shock. There's actually a G-Shock coming out at the moment from, what's the brand called? I saw a G-Shock recently. It was clear, translucent completely. I think, who made it? Was it Antisocial Social Club? Let me see. I saw a G-Shock recently that I really wanted. I think it was clear. That's it, Antisocial, yeah. So I'm not really the biggest fan of watches. If I'm going to buy a watch, it would be a G-Shock or something. But if I was to ever buy a fancy watch, I think I'd prefer an AP over a Rolex. I think APs just don't look as, especially these silver ones, they don't look as like fancy. I think Rolexes look a bit too fancy. They look a bit too glittery for me, you know. APs just have they kind of, I don't know, they kind of just look, they look a bit more understated, if that makes sense, you know? They kind of look a bit understated, and they're better when they're beat up too. I've seen people that have ones that are just like scuffed up and shit. They look really good when they're all scuffed up, when they're not brand new like that. So yeah, APs are quite decent, but I still don't think I could ever justify spending like 50k, 60k, 70. Like, are you insane on a watch? That's just crazy. I could never justify that ever. It just doesn't make any sense. I'd rather spend that money on a holiday, on a house or something. You know what I mean? Like 70k on a watch is, or no, you know, maybe 70k towards a house, not for a house. I don't think there are many places you can buy a house for 70k unless you go to fucking West Virginia or something.
Quality and, more important, empty promises. So I'm always careful, but usually I just window shop online and move on. But then I revisited the website of our last fake versus real video where we analyzed a Rolex Daytona. They had something that stopped me mid-scroll: the absolute best fake AP replica.
Big up Teju. I just bought a replica Omega Seamaster from China. Pretty good stuff. How much did you pay for Teju? How much did you pay for your China Seamaster? AP over Rolly all day. Bugs up the check G-Shocks though. I have a few. Now Rolex or Master, depends on which Rolex. Yeah, true. Yeah. I don't know. I'd love to just stick to the casual Rolexes. Oh, calculator. Yeah, exactly. Of course, with the calculator. Of course. Those are legendary watches. I think they still sell them now. Or the other watches I remember I used to have. Remember that one that had the battery that lasts for like 15 years? Is that a Casio as well? Remember that watch? There's a particular watch. It's like a basic watch that has a battery in it. You don't have to change it for 15 years. It just runs and runs and runs. That was a legendary watch as well back in the day.
Royal Oak reference 26240. The photos, as always, looked crazy good, and I knew I wasn't going to get a genuine AP, but I wanted to see if the top tier replicas were really as close as some people claim. So I took the plunge. I contacted them again, got some real videos and pulled the trigger, paid and waited. And when it arrived, I realized this wasn't just another cheap knockoff. This thing could fool people. Now guys, it is pretty crazy. While the box and the whole packaging is not that 100% convincing, the watch itself is. So I was checking a lot of details which I would have not expected on a replica. So this here is a true super clone.
Yo, big up Teju. Just for the Seamaster, right? 150 gold plated Chinese wholesale seller had a clearance sale on Omega Seamaster, the whole ready of it. Sick. Congrats Teju, congrats.
And it comes scary close to the real one. So let's have a closer look at the microscope to see what differences we can actually spot. Let's open it up to have a closer look on the inside, and let's see if all the functions are like on the real watch. Even the box and the papers tried to play the part. Wow. But my number one advice: never use box and papers to tell if a watch is genuine or not. Those things can be swapped. You can buy real boxes. You can just put the fake watch in the real box. It just doesn't make sense. But let's have a look. The real AP wooden box has premium leather, tight stitching and a hinge that closes with smooth hydraulic resistance. The clone's leather grain is coarser, the hinge is lighter, the padding is softer.
Oh, I've got to say, there's a new company, I think it's like an AI company that's developing a chip. They're trying to work with major luxury brands. I think they might have a deal in place with Hermes. There's a major brand that's coming up. They're trying to make a chip, like a chip that can be highly produced, but mass produced, but cheaply. They're working on some mass produced chip that they can input or that they can place discreetly inside the bags so that you can authenticate them better. So that's trying to get around all the bootlegs and the fakes. So I wonder if they're going to do that for watches. I saw it the other day. I think it got some funding. I forgot the name of the brand or the name of the company, but they're developing chips that they're going to put into luxury items so that you can authenticate them better and you can spot fakes better too. That's what they want to do going, because I know on some brands like Stone Island, they have that holographic tag on the wash label, or they have a particular sort of code that you scan that tells you if it's real. But Chinese warehouses can do all that now. The Chinese factories can fake the holograms, they can fake the codes, they can fake the tags. You know what I mean? So it's kind of difficult. But I have heard they're trying to develop this microchip they're going to put into the stuff in these days.
So you see, it's not that premium. However, the included warranty card is also a bit off.
That's okay, cool. So as I know what I'm talking about, yeah, they have those chips in the modular shoes. Yeah, they said they're developing. It's crazy.
With a QR code that takes you to the official website, but it has no filled dealer details and also looks a bit off. On the clone, the card is also thinner and the printing is slightly off-center. The hang tag was also included and the rest
Isn't that a bad example? How are you using the card of the Rolex compare one to an AP?
looked really quite good, could fool someone. But only the user manual and the warranty info, that is a clear sign. You see it is scanned with a low resolution from a real one, so that's a very easy tell. Now let's get to the watch, and the case is the first trap. 99% Gen-like. Now both measure exactly 12.4mm thickness, with brushed steel surfaces so close in appearance that under casual light they're almost indistinguishable. But lean in. On the Canon AP, the octagonal bezel screws are made from white gold, giving them a warmer glow and perfectly crisp bevels. The clone screws? Stainless steel. It's slightly cold in tone, flatter in reflection, and they also sit almost flush instead of perfectly recessed. The alignment is close, but it's not flawless. They don't fit perfectly in there, but you would never notice without a loop or any kind of magnification.
But if you wanted to just make them look legit, just screw it a bit better, innit? So just say it sit flush in the thing. Right, still looks really good though. It still looks the construction of it looks very fucking good.
And that's exactly the danger. You need to look closely. But the dial is where the super clone nearly sealed the illusion. The grand tapestry pattern is cut with frightening accuracy, the subdials perfectly spaced, the recessors precisely executed, even those tiny raised ridges at the dial edge copied straight from the original. But the text gives it a little bit away. On the real AP, the logo and Swiss made are really razor thin, perfectly straight and evenly spaced. On the clone, the font is a fraction heavier, I think, with the tiniest upward lean. Now, once you see...
Yeah, that's true. That is true. It is a tiny bit, the weight of the letters, yeah. You can see a lot on the E and the A. The weight on the clone letters is a little bit more, but you'd have to really be checking this, innit? To the casual eye, I guess, for the most part, right? For the most part, if you see some guy on a bus, if you see a guy on a bus wearing an AP, most likely it's gonna be fake, innit? Let's just have it right. Right, most likely if you see a guy that, you know, just you'll be able to tell what kind of places you're at. But Jesus Christ, man, some of this stuff is crazy how accurate it is. So maybe this is what Brendan has. Maybe the Birkins are fucking not real, but because that's the thing, it's like buying fake streams, isn't it? It's like buying views. If I started buying views on my video, it'll be obvious to tell because I'm a small, let's say, content creator. I'm on the way up, right? I'm grinding. I'm a little itty bitty baby. If I buy views, it's obvious. You could tell, okay, cool, this guy's buying fucking 100,000 views. These videos don't get these views usually. But if Brendan buys views for TFATK, it's not that obvious. So I wonder if that's how fakes work. Right, that's how fakes work. Like if I turned up tomorrow and I had like a Rolex on my wrist, you'd know it was fake, right? But if Brendan has it, you kind of think it's real because it's Brendan Shaw and he's got a show and he's Rogan's friend, he's got his big house, you know what I mean? So I think fakes actually work better if you're rich. If you're like quote unquote rich, people actually think the things you have is real because you're rich, you know what I mean? It kind of works the same way with fake streams. If Post Malone pays for fake streams, no one will notice because it's fucking Post Malone. But if I, small independent, you have a gun, musician does it, people will know.
I still say buy 1 mil views for stream once.
No, I can't. That might fuck me over in terms of my what's that word called? In terms of my AdSense stuff, they might demonetize my channel. When you do that stuff, when they find you out, they'll usually demonetize it because now they can tell in it if your views are out of the blue and shit. They always demonetize you. So yeah, I wouldn't want to risk that. Plus I don't really care that much, and my ego's not really wrapped up in views that much. If it was, then I would do it, but yeah, no, I couldn't. I'm too pussy for that. Big up Aziz, but if you're a terrible 10-minute vlog, just one video channel with 3 million views, okay, maybe.
See it, you cannot really unsee.
I wonder how much is it? It's probably going to be like £100, isn't it? How much would it be anyway, would you reckon, to buy 1 million views? How much would it be, like $1,000?
It. But without any magnification, I cannot see it at all. Now, pick it up and the bracelet whispers its secret. On the genuine, every link moves like liquid metal. The edges are hand finished, brushed grain flows seamlessly from case to clasp. The clone feels eerily close, but the end links are a little bit stiffer and the articulation has a trace more resistance. But then there's also the clasp. Now it closes like the real one, it feels like the real one, but if you look at the engraving you can see something. Now on the real AP, the exterior AP engraving is really laser sharp, deep and perfectly even, catching light with a crisp edge. Inside, the folding mechanism is flawlessly machined with uniform brushing and perfectly placed engravings.
She just admitted to it though, basically.
Exactly. Essentially, yeah. Because no video since has got 1 million views. They've all got hundreds, thousands, but not 1 million. She definitely admitted to it. It was obvious she was doing it. Obvious. Come on. No one believes she gets 600,000 views anyway. Those views are still fake. But the 1 million views per episode, like, come on, girl. Like, come on. Be serious. Big up casual.
On the clone, the exterior engraving is
and big up Eamon Mac for subscribing too. Big up Eamon Mac for subscribing. You're a legend.
slightly shallower and softer under magnification, with edges that don't quite have the same bite. The inner clasp shows coarser bushing and less precise stamping, but still it looks very close. The rear one snaps shut with a crisp, confident click, and the clone closes a bit softer and the tolerances are just a touch looser, I think. However, the band is fantastic for a clone, so be really careful on rear watches, as some people might swap the bracelet and create some kind of Frankenstein watches. Now let's talk about the sealing, the silent guardian of any luxury watch. The genuine Royal Oak chronograph is tested up to 50 meters of water resistance with precision machined gaskets at the crown, pushers and the case back. Now even the pusher stems are designed with internal seals to prevent ingress during timing functions. The clone, it has gaskets, but they are probably not exactly to the same specifications, or at least, you know, when you tight the screws, that they're not maybe 100% evenly tighted. The pusher seal seems to be quite basic, the crown tube machining isn't as tight, and the case back gasket is simply a flat rubber.
Too bad no one watches you where Ashley Oz and Whitney is the successful one that you're jealous of. Sorry, she's the trending topic. You'll never be her. You're not MS Rachel. You're not brave.
Exactly. Big up Asada Seas, that's brilliant. Big up Asada Seas, brilliantly put. Haters be mad.
Strip. So it may survive a splash or a hand wash, but repeated exposure to water, especially with the pushers engaged, now I wouldn't go swimming with it. But if you flip it over, the heart of the watch is revealed. And on a genuine caliber, the 4401, it's a fully integrated flyback chronograph. Reset and restart with a single press. It uses a vertical clutch for smooth engagement, a column wheel for precise control, and a free-sprung balance with 6 adjustable weights for stability and long-term accuracy. Now it's finished like a piece of art. Polished Geneva stripes, mirror polished screw heads, and a solid 22-karat gold rotor. The clone? Yes, it has a functional flyback. I really didn't expect that. That's really an incredible achievement for a replica. The whole layout, the whole movement is copied. It mirrors the rear thing so closely, it's unnerving. But it hides a giveaway. A regulator arm over the hairspring. Now, the genuine one uses no such a thing. It adjusts the time via balance weights alone. The regulator is cheaper, it's easier to build, and less stable over time. The balance weights you can see here are purely decorative. The rotor here is probably brass, and also it's lighter with shallower engraving and also softer finishing. And the tolerances, well, they are super close, but probably not that close like a real one. Then here is a really great comparison, so you can clearly see the difference even if you don't know anything about it.
I'm sorry, but I can't really see a difference, mate. I'm not gonna lie. I can't really see it. This is like, this, you have to get really granular, but to the naked eye, these reps look fucking great. Especially the top ones. These look really good, bro. These look really fucking good. God damn it. Imagine the amount of fake watches that get sold as real nowadays. That market must be cooked. You must be having to really have to buy the watches with the original books, maybe the receipt, maybe get an invoice, maybe you have to call the watch dealer to confirm. Unless you get it directly from the fucking dealers or from the watch manufacturers, it's really hard to know if your watch is real or not. Really is super impossible to know. God damn it.
Out the watch. So you can see the difference in surface quality. Look for instance at the rotor, check around the spring, even it looks the same, materials unfortunately not. So guys, be careful. This is not a cheap knockoff. Now this is a replica engineered to deceive. From a meter away it's 100% indistinguishable. From a close look maybe 99, but without a side-by-side comparison it could pass for real. To friends, strangers and even some sellers. And if you're buying pre-owned without the box and papers and a trusted source, this is the kind of mistake that will cost you maybe tens of thousands of euros or dollars. Anyhow, I wouldn't recommend buying a super clone as they are simply not the real thing. They don't hold the value, they can cause you trouble, so...
Like... Who's buying a super clone anyway? Who's buying that? Are you buying it purely so you look rich? Or are you buying it because you like the look of APs? Because me personally, I don't think I could ever justify in my life spending 50k on a watch. But if I did spend 50k on a watch, I'd want to spend 50k on a real watch, you know? I'm not bothered about trying to look like I can afford an AP or having an AP, you know? I'd rather work my way up. I'd rather just wear regular watches, you know, Casios and whatever else, and then work your way up to being able to afford the watch of your quote unquote dreams. It's almost like if you could buy a fake, but then again, I think about it legitimately. If they sold fake cars, people would buy them, wouldn't they? I know they kind of do make them, but if you could get a fake car, like if somebody could sell you a fake Lamborghini Urus, a fake fucking Porsche, a fake Ferrari, people would buy them, wouldn't they? Like if you could buy a fake Ferrari for like 10 grand instead of 100 grand plus, people would probably buy them. But sorry. It seems kind of pointless. That's what I'm trying to say. It just seems kind of pointless to spend that much money on a clone. I know they look really good, but I just don't understand the point of buying a watch that looks like a real one. It doesn't make sense to me personally. Especially when you consider the clones are still kind of expensive. It's not like the clones are £50, you know? They're still like £100. Hundreds of pounds you're paying for them. I know hundreds of pounds is cheaper than 50 grand, but I don't know, if you're going to buy an AP, you might as well just wait until you can afford one and then buy a proper AP and just not ever take it off. Buying a clone doesn't really make much sense. But I feel sorry for the people that are buying it aftermarket. I feel sorry for people who are buying it from resellers, because they're 9 times out of 10 you're buying fakes. Let's be real. 9 times out of 10, if you're buying a watch from a person that's just selling you the watch, you're buying it fake. You're buying a fake one. Because if it's me and I'm smart, what I'll do if I'm smart, right? If I'm smart and I'm a reseller, I'm buying a clone. You know what I'm doing when I'm buying a clone? You know what I'm going to do? I'm buying a clone and I'm rubbing it against a wall. I'm buying a clone, I'm rubbing it against the wall. I'm dropping it from a high. I'm giving it a little bit of character. I don't mind if it takes the money off of it, but I'm roughing it up a bit. I rub it against the wall. I rub it with some sandpaper. I drop it on the floor. I might step on it just to give it a bit of a worn look and then sell it. Someone will buy it because they'll think, oh yeah, this has been used. I'm getting a bargain. And then you bought the clone for like £500 and you sell it for like 20 grand still. That's the problem. So if you're buying luxury watches, like unless you're buying them from unless you can go to an AP shop with an AP sales assistant and buy it, everything you're buying is probably fake. That's the real shame. People are spending 50 grand on a watch they think is real, but it's a fucking clone. That's gotta hurt. That's gotta fucking hurt.